Now let's pivot to the next topic. It's still Disney Plus related, but it's about adult content. Now, Dre, you, myself, and Alia,
Mhm.
we touched upon this a few weeks ago about how more adult Marvel stuff is coming on to Disney Plus. I know Chapek has been a big proponent of this. I actually agree with Chapek on this. Sorry, fans. I agree with Chapek on something. Oh my god! But I do. I think that Disney Plus should have more adult content. They're doing the right thing. They're putting it behind a parental control, which is the right way to go. But George, Mr. Family Man, you're a family man, so I'm going to go to you first. As a family man with a young child, are you okay with this? Does it make you a little nervous, apprehensive? Where are you at with this?
I think honestly, even right out at the back, like before when they just announced it and they actually didn't put it on the streaming service yet, I heard like this so much uproar. What's Disney doing? Disney isn't that kid friendly, family oriented type of company anymore. Well, but you also have to think too, it's also said many times that Disney is for everybody. And everyone has their own personal taste, their own liking, and there's different levels of it. And they give this explicit, black and white, notification that, there is adult content and it's up to the parents, just like me. That's not up to anybody else. If I feel that my son shouldn't be watching something, that's up to me. If I say it's okay, that's my right. But Disney gives you that option. And by them adding that parental right and adding the 4-digit pin, it allows you to say, hey, you can watch this, but you can't watch that. I'm perfectly okay with it because it also widens the market to get people to say, hey,
Right.
there's an interest on this streaming service that I want to look into. I might subscribe to it. And I think that's a game changer for Disney, because I think a lot of people weren't expecting them to do that, but I think it will definitely help them financially in the long run.
Absolutely. Dre, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, I thought the last time we spoke about this, it was all about what they might do based on previous iterations of this in various countries and what that might look like here. I thought the rollout was a little suspect. I guess anybody, like the first people to log in, like the first user to log in when this rollout was released, like I think they had the ability to create a pin, which could be a problem if if your child is the first one to get in. I thought that was really interesting. I don't know if anybody else experienced that or if that's a widespread thing, but I was like, oh, that's kind of curious. Anyway, but no, look, I we had kind of predicted that this kind of thing was coming. I think even long before even we heard that the other markets like Canada and so forth were getting it, and to see it here, I echo a lot of my sentiments that I had before. I think it's I think it opens up a world of possibilities. We're seeing the Disney company kind of pivot away from maybe our associations with the brand or what it has been ever since our age group growing up, right, in the 80s, 90s, and beyond. What we think of the Disney company has changed profoundly in that time, and it's ever evolving, and it's evolving now. I mean, now we're going to have sports betting as part of ESPN. That's crazy. That is nuts. That is absolutely insane. They don't even allow gambling on the cruise line, but they're going to have one of their biggest divisions dedicated to it, at least somewhat. So we're seeing these changes, and I think for Disney Plus, I think it is a real big game changer. They've already placed the Netflix Marvel shows on there, and it's really cool to see that, and to have it be part of the lineup. I think that's pretty awesome.
Well, and it's good for the Marvel brand because Disney wants full control of the stuff that they own. Excuse me. And if you limit it to, well, this is too adult, for Disney, then you have to like divvy it out into other platforms like Netflix.
Yeah.
But now, if you don't have that and you can bring it on to Disney Plus, add a parental control, Disney Plus really will be a one-stop shop for everything Marvel, aside from Spider-Man.
Aside from Spider-Man, damn it.
Aside from Spider-Man, but it gives Disney more control of their own stuff,
Yeah.
And I was a big fan of the Marvel Netflix stuff. I absolutely love Daredevil. A fantastic show. Jessica Jones. I love Jessica Jones. Look, a lot of people didn't like Iron Fist. I actually like Iron Fist, you know. I think they did a lot of great stuff, and it's good to have it on D plus. Put it behind parental control. It's all good. Hey, look, the door. A lot of people complain about Disney kind of like embracing this more adult content.
Mm-hmm.
That door was cracked open with Michael Eisner when he bought Pixar. I mean, when he bought not Pixar. I'm sorry. When he bought Miramax, when he started Touchstone and Hollywood Pictures and all that stuff. None of that stuff. A lot of stuff on. That came out of that studio, especially Miramax, was not, family friendly. But Michael Eisner understood at that time that if Disney's going to be a player in the industry, they have to branch out into this stuff. So as long as you protect the Disney name and you put it behind the parental controls, I think you're good. I think you're good. Just don't throw it out there willy-nilly. You got to be responsible about it. But I think they're doing the right thing here. I do.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I think we're both thinking the same thing when it comes to Miramax.
Yeah,
I think it's. All I think is Pulp Fiction with
That's it.
It's the Gimp and Royale with cheese. I mean that's technically a Disney product.
Yes,
it's kind of funny to think about that. But
that movie was released when it was owned by Disney.
I mean, it was. Those are hard facts, hard truths.
And I'm sorry, that's for me. That's the best Quentin Tarantino film ever for me. Anyway,
it's so good, man. It's so good. I can talk about that film all day. It's just it's delight. I do like probably either Django Unchained or Hateful Eight or whatever. But yeah, okay. we'll have to
yes.
Let's put that away for right now. But look, listen, I am a big fan of Disney, obviously, but when it comes to mature content, I mean, they haven't always been there, right? They haven't always provided that.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you got to go other places. Well, I find it cool where it's like I can see Elsa and Anna, but I can also see the Punisher, driving some guy's skull into a broken mirror. It's freaking awesome, right? Depending on the flavor, it's there. And I don't know. I mean, as long as you limit it, and looks like they have, I think it could work.
Are they considering adding Deadpool? Is that?
You know what? I didn't see it on there. So they do have.
Do you think that would be in the possibilities? Do you think they would add that?
I think it is.
I think it is. Yeah. So they do have like a Marvel Legends section where they have like the X-Men films and stuff like that.
Okay.
I can definitely see Deadpool being added. I'm surprised it's now that you say that, I'm surprised it's not.
And you know what? Disney is moving forward with Deadpool 3, and I think it was Kevin Feige who promised it's going to be an R rating. It's so funny to me too because so many people, like really, ever since they bought Marvel, a lot of fans were concerned they're going to Disney-fy Marvel. They're going to Disney-fy Marvel. I don't see it.
No, especially after Deadpool.
Yeah,
that's like far from being that cookie cutter clean Disney.
It is Fox, but to have Disney's commitment to it, it's like, hey, if they want to go forward,
and that's
with
why
it.
I was surprised with it because since Deadpool came out and Disney bought Fox and with Disney Plus and everything, everyone was saying, okay, when is it going to be time when Disney's going to drop it in to the streaming service? And then when they did this, I thought, well, could this be the purpose for it? Because Deadpool as a franchise is really successful.
Oh yeah,
huge. It's huge.
Yeah. No, Disney. The first two films for Deadpool were under Fox when Disney didn't own Fox. This third movie that they're coming out with is going to be Kevin Feige. It's going to be Marvel, Disney, and they've committed to an R rating. So that's the right move. That's the right move. I think Chapek is very much committed to he's not going to shy away from this stuff. And it's up to the parents to do those parental controls. It's up to the parents to parent their kids. It's up to the parents to sort of monitor their own kids and what they watch. And Disney, what they'll do is they'll just give you the tools to assist you in that process. You know, they're not going to basically tell you what you and your family should or shouldn't watch. They're going to give you the tools to kind of monitor and customize your experience. And I think that's the way to go. I really do.
When it comes to the Marvel stuff, though, I just want to ask, you know, there has been a kind of a point of separation between the MCU as we know it and the Netflix shows, right? Now, technically, Netflix shows are part of the same universe, but they've always kind of had that degree of separation. When it comes to like a Daredevil or like a Deadpool, do you think they make that transition into the MCU now that all this is officially now under kind of one banner, so to speak?
I think from what I understand, and I think it was just announced the other day actually with Daredevil, that Disney wants to reboot it.
They are, yeah.
But they're going to use Charlie Cox's character though, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I think that's kind of like the model, because we saw Kingpin in Hawkeye, but it was Vincent D'Onofrio, right, playing Kingpin like he was in the Daredevil show. But this character that was in Hawkeye is separate from the Netflix show. They're like rebooting it. So I think they're going to utilize all the characters and try to get the same actors and actresses. They're just going to reboot like the storylines and the
just to make it a little bit more the continuity.
And that's right. And that is